We know that 30% of the energy is consumed in buildings. So the more sustainable buildings we have, the better approach we have to reduce the energy consumption.
Teppfa has a long involvement with environmental impact issues. We've been developing EPDs now for 4 or 5 years. More recently, we've been involved in the pilot project for PEF. We see this moving forward as a vital area for our industry so that we can accurately provide data on the environmental impact that our products have.
EPDs are a good instrument at least to demonstrate the environmental impact of a building product. So it's fine. And we as an industry, we are very open at least to follow what is happening on the PEF. And what we can suggest is the more that can be harmonized, the better. The Commission certainly has to give, first of all, the vision and also the instruments that we have a clear and fair competition on the market.
Our construction products regulation, the CPR, is there and is there to stay and is there to be applied. Applied directly as all regulations do, and applied also for Basic Work Requirement 7. And this process has already started for many product families, and it will be continued, and then we will be able, after inserting the existing methods and existing standards into this frame, we will be able to supplement and improve this framework later on by new developments such as coming through the PEF pilot in years to come.
We are more favorable to work in terms of harmonization, in terms of incentive, rather than additional regulation, particularly to take into account the fact that Europe is suffering a very tough competition from emerging countries because labor cost and resources are much more available in these countries. Regulation probably is not really a good path forward, but some incentives on R&D, on competitions would be welcome, yes.
A standard is something that has to serve a policy. If the standard doesn't fit completely the policy, then we need to adapt the standard. So the work that we are doing with construction products in the framework of the pilot phase is to assess how we can improve the 15804 so that the 15804 will help us addressing our policy needs, and we will be able to use it consistently into policy making. The companies who have done that in the past actually are gaining money from that. So by looking more into their environmental performance, into the eco-design of their products, they are saving resources, they are acquiring new market shares because people are interested in buying greener products, and so they know that if they can sell the information in a way that is credible, they will benefit more.
We have to, of course, respect the prerogative of the legislators, and in the construction context, the European level, we are talking about the CPR and those parties who have contributed to its recent adoption. And then we need to continue this work with secondary legislation, with delegated acts to come on several important areas, classes, threshold levels, systems for the assessment of the performance, and so on.
Sustainability is a big debate, whatever sector you're in, and Teppfa is one of the platforms which is taking this on. They want to come up with solutions. My role is first to remind everyone the situation in which the construction industry is in Europe. It's not a very successful industry at the moment. We've been hit very hard, by, probably the hardest hit by the financial crisis. New builds is not high, it's mostly renovation. So we need to find solutions for new build and, zero energy buildings, green buildings, whatever the name is. But we don't forget renovation, because that is where we can really save energy. And energy, of course, is another crucial item on the European agenda before the elections.
There are many challenges. One of the challenges is to find the enough information, because in order to come out with things which is credible and reliable, you need to have data which you can verify. And how to verify this data in supply chains, which are extremely complicated, is a big challenge. So this is one of the things that we have to convince people that is possible at cost which is reasonable, so that we are not adding an extra burden to industry, but we are helping them to boost their competitiveness.